Well, hello everyone, I'm Darth Browner, and welcome to my very first top 5 on my YouTube channel. Woo! Now, it's going to be on top 5 indie games. These are personal choices that I've made, and it took me a lot of time to think about them because there's so many awesome games out there. It took me a while to compile this top 5 quite considerably. How did I come about? Well, my mates Harry K87 and Gamerbirds, they did posts on indie games on their respective accounts. So it kind of got me thinking, what would be my favourite indie games? So in the form of video, thought I'd share them with you guys. Now to kick things off, here's number 5. Roundabout is the first game at number 5. You've got cheesy voice acting, cheesy actors, and a mute protagonist called Giorgio Manos.
Great. Well, I'll be the instructor for your limousine operator's test, so just keep things straight and quick, and this will be over ASAP.
If only our pal here could see.
And not only that, but this game is 70s. Just pure 70s cheesiness. And not only that, you're driving a limousine, a revolving limousine. So, think Kuru in on the Game Boy Advance, with Crazy Taxi thrown in for good measure.
Hey kid, the name's Mickey. Mickey the mechanic. I've never seen anyone drive like you just did at the DMV. Can you show me some more? Need a ride to my shop down the block.
That's the part of the charm of Roundabout, is it's very, very, very addictive. You will die a lot, but it's just one more go. It's a very, very fun little game, and I really enjoy it, for sure.
This is the future of transportation.
And not only that, but you also get like different upgrades, and there is a rival later in the game as well.
Have you ever thought of going pro?
So there's a little bit of depth
to
it, I would say, and it's very open worldy as well.
I'll even help you out with parts. You and me, kid, we could go all the way. Okay, you just met me, it's a little weird. But kid, seriously, think about it. I'll be right here at the garage.
But hopefully you guys will, much like me, have a complete blast on this game. Now, moving straight into number 4, which is Stardew Valley. This is Harvest Moon in a nutshell. That's probably the best way to describe it, with online elements, modding, very diverse characters as well. It's a very, very cute, adorable farming sim with a surprising amount of depth. So if you're into Harvest Moon, you will fall in love with Stardew Valley, much like I have. The world that you explore is diverse, the characters are quite interesting as well. So you're not going to get bored that easily, trust me, there is always something to do. It's a charming game, and visually it looks quite pretty actually, in fairness. It really does. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing this quite a lot. It's very addictive, and with the online element as well, that's quite fun as well. So there is a lot to do, and there's a lot to keep you occupied for sure. And look at the size of that map. It's quite a massive world to explore, and the town's pretty cool as well. You've got usual shops and such, but it's basically the hub of the game where you interact with the characters as well, get all your stuff, and there's random characters galore. So moving on to Hollow Knight, which is number 3. If you like Metroidvania games, you are going to love this. This for me is one of my very favourite in that genre, in all honesty. As you explore the caverns, accompanied by a very beautiful soundtrack, very orchestral, and quite haunting as well. The one thing that Hollow Knight does well is atmosphere. The atmosphere is just 100% on point. You got a diverse selection of characters. You've got enemies. There's not the enemies are always quite different as well. So yeah, I would strongly recommend Hollow Knight if you like your Metroidvanias for sure. The platforming is up there with Mario and Mega Man, etc. is like among some of the best, and the graphics as well. It definitely gives off that darkness that you're exploring a network of caverns and such like. So the graphics really accompany the music and the atmosphere. They all go quite well hand in hand, I would say, because you're exploring caverns and everything just fits. It's just an amazing game, and one I would strongly recommend you try. Now, talking of platform games, we're going to be moving straight on to number 2, Celeste. Celeste is definitely one of my very favourites, without a shadow of a doubt. You're climbing a mountain. It's a very weird mountain, for sure. It's very Super Meat Boy-esque as well, in the sense that you have 1 health and you're dead, but you restart pretty much where you died. So the checkpoints are quite generous, but you learn from your mistakes as well. That's the beauty with Celeste. You learn from, like, not going on that pitfall there, or etc. You know, the game encourages you to learn, so insta deaths and things aren't frustrating. In fact, they just make you think, right, I'll try something else a different way. The music is charming, the gameplay is on point, graphics are pretty neat as well, and furthermore, the platforming sections are pretty awesome. So it's one of my favourite platforms, I would say. And you've got your characters as well. Not all of them are friendly though, some of them are quite unfriendly, I should say. So one to watch. Well, for the final game, which is my very favourite, I might add, I took ages to think about it, and I just kept digging away, thinking, what does deserve the coveted top spot? And quite frankly, it was a tough one. I want to give a very special mention to the following, which did not make it at all, because there were some close ones. Rogue Legacy, Owlboy, Cave Story, and Undertale, and Broforce. They very nearly made it, and honestly it was so close. But to be honest with you, it was one winner, as you're about to find out. Take it away. Here's my very favourite indie game of all time. Shovel Knight. My very, very favourite indie game. And not only that, but you don't just play a Shovel Knight, you've got DLC that's been released as well, which is pretty cool. They're very awesome. What do I like about Shovel Knight then? Everything. I love this game immensely. This game is platforming perfection in my opinion. It's up there as one of my favourite games of all time, no doubt about it. It's an 8-bit retro wonderland. It rubs shoulders with the elites such as Mario and Mega Man, as far as I'm concerned. I'll just watch them in the same breath. And hats off to Yacht Club Games. They made one hell of a game, with some fun boss battles thrown into the mix. An interesting story with Shovel Knight fighting the Order of No Quarter and the Enchantress. Yeah, you've got yourself an amazing game. The music is just 8-bit awesomeness, and you've got a decent map which is reminiscent of Mario Bros. 3. You can select bosses in an order of sorts, which is another Mega Man element, I might add. And there's even like a little nod to Adventure of Link, where you got your 2D map and the NPCs just wandering around doing their business. And there are some strange NPCs. I mean, you got a horse and what looks like a weasel or a stoat or something. Oh, it's a deer lady. So yeah, I really like Shovel Knight for its diversity. It's a love letter to fans of the 8-bit gaming genre. Yes, I've mentioned Mario Brothers 3 and Mega Man, but we also got the fact that old Shovel Knight here can use his shovel as if it was a pogo stick, like DuckTales, Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. So, yeah, you will absolutely love this game, much like I do, and I really hope you do. I cannot stress how important it is to try this game out. So, I'm going to leave you with some awesome gameplay footage. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed recording it, and it was, like I said, quite tough, but Shovel Knight really did pip those games to the post a little bit, because it was a tough decision, like I said earlier. This has been Darth Browner. Thank you immensely for watching. Don't forget to give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe on my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter as well. And also, don't forget to give my mates HarryK87 and GamerBuds a follow on their respective pages on Instagram as well, because they got some awesome photos on there, and that's really what gave me the idea to get this indie game video out. So, without further ado, see you on the next video. Ciao for now, everyone. Bye!